pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call the December 15th meeting of the Common Council order, please. Call the roll.
Councillor Olson.
Here.
Councillor Fennessy.
Here.
Councillor Bender.
Here.
Councillor Sweeney.
Here.
Councillor McDonald.
Here.
Councillor Mazzolia.
Here.
Councillor Finsland.
Here.
Councillor Herrick.
Here.
Councillor Dennis Dahlbeck.
Here.
Councillor Esther Dahlbeck.
Here.
Councillor Nowicki.
Here.
And Councillor Kadat.
I'll seek approval of the December 2nd council meeting minutes. For the motion and second. Councillor Dennis Dahlbeck.
Yeah, I just want to say under proclamation, I want to thank Chuck for all his work he's done on the department. He's been a great chief. Hate to see him leave. I'm sure he'll enjoy his retirement. Did a great job, Chuck. Like I told you the other night, you had a good guy breaking you in. Good job.
I'll ask for all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I also, on behalf of the city, Chuck, want to thank you for your 33 years of great service to the community and the department. And I, too, wish you and Lori a wonderful, long, joyous vacation. I should say retirement. But you'll probably find other things to do, too, so have a great one.
Thank you for the kind thoughts, and thank you for all of you for working with me during the time that I've worked with you as chief. And I want to thank the City of Superior for being my employer and a place I've given my passion to and proud to be a part of for the last 33 years. And it's a two-way street. It's provided for my family and provided me something to be proud of. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 6 is the consent agenda.
For the motion and second to approve the consent agenda as published. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Item 7.1, Finance Director Vito is submitting an animal shelter management contract extension.
What is the pleasure?
Make motion to approve. Second.
For the motion and second, discussion. Hearing, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Item 7.2, Finance Director Vito is submitting the 2015 health insurance budget.
Motion approved. Second.
You've heard the motion and second, discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
7.3, Planning and Port Director Cirque is recommending to waive the normal bid procedure and grant permission for the sale of the city-owned property at 625 Hewitt Avenue to Richard Fuller for $39,900.
Motion to approve. Second.
For the motion and second to approve, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Item 8.1, Mayor Hagan is recommending the following committee appointments to the Business Improvement District Board of Directors, reappointing Aaron Dandria. To the Community Development Block Grant, reappointing John Baskey, Mike Rayan, and Julie Johnson. And to the Redevelopment Authority of the City, Brett Brodeen.
Second.
Second.
For the motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Item 8.2 is the proposed pay plan. But Bruce, you want to?
I pulled this from the agenda so that we can review this further with counselors, with department heads, with all employees, so that we all have a clear understanding of what this encompasses and if there's any tweaking that needs to be done. What it is basically a recommendation at the request of the council with the conditions that the council asked them to review and provide, and I think we need to take another month to take a look at it. We'll bring it back on the agenda for the January 20th council meeting.
Item 9.1, Councilor Sweeney is requesting a report from the Public Works Director regarding events in 2014.
You got anything, Councilor? Do you have anything you want to say, or did I just start in? Or?
Well, I would want to say something after you present it, if possible.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have any preliminary comments on that at all.
Okay.
Thank you for doing it. I think it's important that the council knows what's going on.
All right, here we go. As you all know, the late part of, or I should say winter, the early part of the winter in 2014 was hard on our salt budget. We had winter until practically June. So we had a short break from winter from July till October, and here we are back in it. But so far, November and December have been kind to our budget on salt and sand, so that's been good. In 2014, some of the major projects we had, we milled and constructed blacktop overlays on about 65 blocks of city streets and about 34 blocks of concrete sidewalk. Fifth Street reconstruction project, of course, was one of our bigger ones from Belknap to 12th Avenue, and there's still some blacktop to put on that in 2015. We saw the first half of the construction of the first roundabout in the Twin Ports near the base of the Bong Bridge with our partners, Wisconsin DOT, and that'll provide a nice drop down onto Garfield there and into our truck route onto Winter Street and the industrial park. Finished up reconstruction of 22nd and 23rd Avenues between East 2nd and East 5th Street near the new Super One store. Reconstructed some intersections at Cumming and Hewitt Avenues at North 1st Street to help truck turning movements up in that area for all the trucks. Construction of Phase 3 capping at the landfill. We completed that 3-phase study for the Moxon Mike landfill on the garbage collection services as far as the cost of services offered, our waste shed study, and the landfill valuation. And worked with the Animal Shelter Ad Hoc Committee from May to August to get those plans together in terms of the new animal shelter, which is underway. And then we demolished a bunch of buildings. One of those was the Boss Electric building, and then we've taken down about 8 other buildings with our own crews. And then just a couple highlights from the Environmental Services Division. The wastewater plant put in new screens for the raw wastewater stream. We've put in the past 4 years or so, we've put in about 88 homes in terms of those backwater valves. They've been customers in our flood control program, and about 75% of those have been done in the last 2 years, interestingly. So after the council approved the rate increase to support that, a lot of people have taken advantage of that program. Crews down there cleaned about 45 miles of sewer in 2014, and we lined a portion of that K Street storm sewer, so the one that leaves out of Central Park there, to help fix that after the 2012 flood and to improve the flow through there. Last couple of things, looking forward to 2015. Working on our milling and overlay list right now, considering streets like Grand, a piece of North 5th, North 12th, and a few other ones in that area that we talked about before Tower Avenue was done. And we left that north end alone for a while Tower Avenue was under construction. We've got Wisconsin Point Road, paving from Moxon Mike to the end. We're going to be doing an RFP for Winter Street in terms of doing a conceptual design and try to plan the truck route out in different projects on there and look for grant money. And we've got a salt barn to be designed and constructed at the shop. We're going to have a sidewalk construction plan put together here before early winter. And then on South Tower, we've got some concrete repairs we need to do on some of those areas where we had taken up that blacktop patching material and repair the concrete pavement out there.
One question.
Okay.
For my information more than, let's say Tower Avenue was a joint project. Is that accurate to say? Between the state and so do we sign off on that when that's completed to our satisfaction, or is the state responsible for that from day one going forward?
It's kind of a joint responsibility, actually. The DOT administers the project, and we pay our share for our eligible items. And there are some items that are 100% city funded, and so we have ultimate say on those, especially.
Okay.
Things like curb and gutter and that we pay like 10% on or 20% on some of those items. And they primarily sign off, but they do ask us. We meet with them regularly during the project, especially every week we've been down there.
And so that's not unique with Tower Avenue?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Every joint project we do with the DOT that has our money, and it would have some
Similar
setup, yeah.
Thank you.
Jeff, I just want to thank you and your crews for the great job you guys did out in Billings Park. I think we had some of the worst streets in the city after last winter. There were some ruts that were over a foot deep. And the people out there were just, they had nowhere to go. I mean, they couldn't park their car on the street. They didn't dare drive down the street. You guys did an excellent job, and when you guys left, you couldn't tell there was any damage to it. So thank you for all the work you did out there.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree.
Jeff, who's responsible for the sidewalks on Tower Avenue? Is that the city or state or joint?
It's a connecting highway, so it's the city at this point. Yep.
Okay. Those been looked at after the first year as far as wear and tear and
Yeah, we have got everything rated in town, and we do visit those every so often. Yeah, Ryan, our engineering technician, is in charge of that
so
program.
some of the cracks at the intersections will just be monitored? per
Yeah,
se?
when they get bad
Handi-
enough, or they present tripping hazards or those kind of things, and then we go in and replace
Handicap
it.
areas?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeff. Every department has done a great job this year, and I know that 2014 in Public Works was very similar to 13 with 50 major projects throughout the community between ESD and Public Works and Parks. So thank you very much.
Counselor Nowicki.
Well, as a lot of you know, this year with the Spear High School, the big deal at the high school was the new sports complex, and the football team really made good use of that. They won all their games on that field, and then they ended up winning all of their regular season games due to a forfeit from Hopkins for an ineligible player. They won the Big Rivers Conference after that forfeit. They made it all the way to the third level of playoffs, I believe, earning their first loss of the season to Menasha. And they, like I said, they made good use of the field, having 2 home playoff games there for the first 2 levels. So that was a really big deal, and one of the best records for the high school team, I think, ever in history.
Thank you, Counselor. The banquet was last night for the football team, and several of us were there, and it was a packed house, as you know. In fact, it was a great event, but I want to have Counselor Olson tell you the other half of the story.
Yeah. First of all, one of the good things is in Dave Miner's speech, or I think it might have been Coach DeMeyer's too. But anyway, that second playoff game that was at Superior was the highest attended playoff game in the state of Wisconsin this year. So that's a good indication of how we support our teams and in the Superior youth organizations and all that. But Mayor was there last night, and when I walked in, they had the place was packed down at Barker's Island, and what they had done is they had put out RSVPs, and most of them were in the hands of the kids, my stepson included. So I knew about the event at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, going on at 5. So when I got there, it was packed. And they had 150 RSVPs, so they added where they came up with 10 more people. They decided to have enough food for 160 people, and there was over 200 there, so they ended up getting 20 pizzas from Little Caesars to make sure that everybody got fed. But it was a good program. It was 4 hours long. Were you there till the end?
I didn't go, no.
Oh, okay. Well, it was 4 hours long, and Rich Rader performed in the way that he's done ever since he's been a coach up there, and it's on Wi-Fi tomorrow if anybody wants to look at it. So there's some parts that are real entertaining, but it was really good to see all the kids and stuff, and a lot of the people that were there were people that I went to school with, and the last championship was quite a while after I was out of school, but some of them coaches they've been there for 33 years, some of them, Rick Kenley for one, So that's a dedication that we have in this city that some of these people give back to the community in that sense. And it was a great event. But it was, I don't know how many kids are on the football teams between the sophomores and JVs and the varsity, but Miner told them all, now let's all, and it was directed towards the kids, lighten up on the food, you know. Pretty soon there was 20 pizzas there and took care of everything. So, but congratulations to that football team. I know I'm very proud of my son. He got some awards and made a conference team and all that crap. So good season and well, it is. It's you know, what are you gonna do? But it was good.
Thank you, good job.
Okay, item 10.1 is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Superior approving the form of notice to lease real property, Fraser Shipyards, Inc., Phase 3 dock project.
The motion is second to approve. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Is there any further business to come before this body? Heard the motion.
I
I'm
just have
sorry,
one
Counselor?
comment. We're sitting here and we see other department heads here, fire, Brad, all these other, Mary, Jason, that they've also done a fantastic job this year, and I don't want to exclude them or
No.
anything, but you guys did a great job. The city's very lucky to have all you people here.
Thank you.
I have one comment. I just
Counselor.
like to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas
Thank
and a
you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you, folks. All in favor of the motion to adjourn signify by saying aye. Opposed? Merry Christmas to everybody.